guys, Nick Biddle here coming at you with this week's Leadership Drip, and this week is step 3 of a series all around leadership development. We're talking this month about not only how to develop the right leaders, but how to develop more leaders. It's one of the major bottlenecks we're seeing in most of our companies is we don't have enough good leaders that we can depend on to take on another project. And last week, we built, do you remember the $6 million foreman? And we said, these are some of the personal and professional qualities that a $6 million foreman would have. And I encouraged you to build your list out even bigger. And I added a few things to my list because the more detail we can bring to it, the more of those skills we're going to begin to see in our people. But I told you last week, there are certain things that we can develop in somebody, and there are certain skills and qualities that we cannot. And so I want to real quickly, let's just identify some of those skills, some of those qualities that we cannot develop in other people. When I'm doing this in workshops, the first thing that usually sticks out is integrity. It's like integrity, you either have it or you don't. Honesty. Honesty is really tough to develop in somebody. And I know I've got one in every workshop. They say, Nick, I can develop anything. You give me enough time and enough resources, I can develop it. Well, I know that. Maybe that's true. But for the purposes of this conversation, let's just focus on the ones that are either maybe really tough to train. Intelligent. I've got some guys that say, if a guy's not smart, we don't need to develop him into a leader. And sometimes loyalty, the thing about loyalty is loyalty can be earned. It's usually not beamed in us. It's usually something that is earned. But let's just look at these three: integrity, honest, and intelligent. How soon can you identify those skills in somebody? How long do you have to work with them before you can identify if they're honest with you, if they're smart, if they've got some level of integrity? When you start looking at the professional skills, organized, skilled, a good delegator, a good leader, a good motivator, a good teacher, a good problem solver, a good decision maker, even over here, a good communicator, good with people. We can teach that stuff. It's not easy to teach, but we can develop those skills and other people. So the first question I have for you is, all these skills that were not circled, that we haven't circled, are we developing those skills in our next leader? And then the skills that are circled in red. If we can identify somebody 2, 3, 4 weeks into their career, let's say a year into their career as a first or second year apprentice, if we can identify that, man, this young man's got integrity, he's smart, and he's honest, are we developing that young man or woman then? Or are we waiting until they have the skills? It's like, well, I'm going to ignore you for the next 4.5, 5 years until you get your license. And then if you're still around, then I might invest in you. We've got a lot of leaders right now that are really good at their job and they kept showing up, but they don't have any integrity. We promoted the wrong guy. One of the biggest complaints that I hear is we don't have enough time to teach. You're right, because we usually have about 38 minutes between the time we get a project and the time we need to put a new leader on that or a new foreman. But what if, as a first, second, third year apprentice, we started identifying our guys early on? This guy's going to be a leader someday. He doesn't know a Phillips from a standard screwdriver right now, but he's going to be a leader because he's got the basic qualities that I'm looking for. And we start developing him slow over time, slow and steady. Go through your list, if you've built one, and identify those skills and qualities that you cannot train. Bring as much detail to it as you can. Next week, we're going to go a little deeper into why and the good things that can happen when we really put down on paper what we're looking for. Guys, that's it for the Leadership Drip this week. That was step 3. Until next time, take care.